3 generations. That's all it takes for most family fortunes to completely disappear, whether you're talking about Pablo Escobar's billions or the Vanderbilt's legendary wealth. But why does this keep happening?
That's such a fascinating pattern, and what really gets me is how universal it is. Whether we're looking at legal or illegal wealth, the story often ends the same way. We'll take Pablo Escobar's family. His son is now living as a middle-class architect in Argentina under a different name, despite his father having amassed around $30 billion. And you know what's really interesting? The way criminal empires face these unique challenges that legitimate businesses don't. Like how the very secrecy that protects illegal wealth during someone's lifetime becomes its downfall after death. Exactly. But here's what's really wild. Even legitimate wealth faces similar challenges. Look at the Vanderbilts. They were once America's wealthiest family, and now most of that fortune is gone. Or the Stroh beer family. They went from $9 billion to practically nothing in just 2 decades. You know, I've noticed this psychological pattern where the first generation builds the wealth with incredible drive, the second maintains it, but by the third generation. Right? Well, there's this quote from a businessman that perfectly captures it. "My father built, I maintained. My children consume. This is the natural order of things." And you know what makes this even more tragic? How many wealthy people completely fail at basic estate planning? Oh, like Howard Hughes. That story still blows my mind. $2 billion in today's money, and he died without a valid will. And that legal battle lasted 34 years. Can you imagine? 22 cousins and 400 different claimants fighting over the fortune until most of it went to lawyers anyway. But, here's what really gets me. Even modern celebrities make the same mistakes. Like James Gandolfini leaving 80% of his $70 million estate exposed to that massive tax hit. Exactly. And Philip Seymour Hoffman rejecting all estate planning advice, leaving his partner with a $15 million tax bill. It's like these incredibly successful people have this weird blind spot when it comes to preserving their wealth. Well, what fascinates me is how this isn't universal across cultures. The statistics in Asia are completely different, aren't they? So different. In Asia, only about 30% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation, compared to 70% in America. And get this. There was this Japanese family business, Kongo Gumi, that lasted 1,400 years before being acquired in 2006. That's remarkable. What do you think makes the difference? Well, in many Asian cultures, there's this deep emphasis on collective identity over individual achievement. The family name and legacy matter more than personal indulgence. And when you look at families like the Rothschilds or Rockefellers who've managed to maintain their wealth, they follow similar principles, like treating the family itself as an enterprise that needs to be managed. Exactly. They have these elaborate family constitutions, councils, and clear succession plans. But you know what's really crucial? They invest heavily in their human capital. It's not just about managing money, but about educating the next generation about stewardship and values. And they create this shared mission beyond just maintaining wealth, don't they? Like the Rockefellers with their philanthropy. Right? And they're incredibly smart about how they structure things. They use family offices to separate emotional family decisions from strategic financial ones. But here's a real challenge. How do you maintain that hunger that built the fortune in the first place when everyone's living in comfort? That seems like the ultimate paradox of generational wealth. It really is. The traits that help create wealth, like risk-taking and singular focus, are often completely different from what's needed to maintain it, like caution and diversification. You know what's really ironic? The more you focus just on preserving the money, the more likely you are to lose it. So, what's the real secret to building a lasting legacy? Well, from everything we've discussed, it seems to be about understanding that wealth is just a tool for achieving something greater, not an end in itself. The families that survive across generations are the ones who focus on creating systems, developing people, and maintaining the cultural values that made them successful in the first place. That really changes the whole conversation about generational wealth, doesn't it? Instead of asking, how do we keep the money? Maybe we should be asking, what are we keeping it for? And that's exactly what makes the difference between a fortune that lasts 3 generations and one that lasts 30. It's about creating something that's bigger than any individual family member, something that each generation can contribute to and build upon, rather than just preserve or consume.